please welcome Reformation to the stage.
You and Susanna and Gabriel and Elvina and I, Sean, and all of us here are just starting out on our life. But we overlook the career of farming. Your food supply is in danger. More farmers are needed, and that's just the start. But we are blinkered by significant obstacles like access to land, the hesitancy for investment, the financial sourcing of machinery, the unpredictability of livelihoods, the hard manual labour, and the unguaranteed time off that a career in farming brings. These make us turn a blind eye to this highly skilled, highly respected profession. Let's reopen those eyes today and look to farm for the future.
As we browse through the perception of agriculture and farming within the younger generation, it's clear that the life of a farmer is unattractive due to hard work, long hours, and no holidays. Our generation seek freedom and not to be locked up by chores. Also, there is a perception that there is a lack of incentives from the European Union for becoming a young farmer and being a part of a generational renewal of agriculture. And these perceptions are keeping young people from discovering this career path.
Only 11% of all EU farms are run by farmers under 40 years of age, but 38% of all EU land is farmland. With an ageing farming population, a huge surplus of farmland will be left in dire need of a farmer in the not-so-distant future. We need new farmers to take the reliance off Ukrainian imports, to help contradict increasing urbanization of Europe, and to embolden food security in Europe as well.
Feed your career, and it feeds you. That's the message that we are going to send to our prospective farmers. Invest in being a farmer, become a farmer, and harvest, literally, but also harvest the benefits of being a farmer. Because otherwise, we will have a big problem. Because you can become a lawyer, you can become a teacher, but you can't become any of that without your food. All of us need food. But without farmers, we can't have any food. So we need to value our farmers. We need to see that farmers are a high-skilled profession. And that's the message that we are going to send into the world. Because we are going to say to farmers, feed your career, and it will feed all of us. This message shows that farmers are a high-skilled profession, and that we value them, and that we are in danger without them.
So, who do we want to target with this campaign? We want to target young people, 16 to 35, in small to medium European cities that haven't been exposed to this lifestyle, right? The farming lifestyle. We want to target youth that are unemployed or underemployed, looking for a direction that's future-oriented, environmentally sound, and fulfilling. Due to this direction, we want our transfer, what we want to engage in our young people is taking them from apathy to interest. We want to take this apathy that's often found in the youth, in these young people that don't really have this this direction and this interest, and interest them in a career that's good for both them and for the future of Europe. Success for us means engaging with young people, having them follow through with our calls to action, and eventually voting for the EPP. Our campaign will focus on humor and boldness, in order to break the scroll. And this is just one example. I think it's very cute. The Highland cow of a possible post.
EPP, youth of EPP, you can be the change in this problem. Wow. We have a few points that should be put into the manifest, because then we can really change and we can help us out of the danger of no food. First of all, invest in the rural areas. Make them appealing again. Make sure that there are facilities like hospitals and like schools so people can live in the rural areas.
Another impact is that the European Union should develop scholarships, expand Erasmus with more agricultural programs and education, as well as engage schools around the Union to take part in the agricultural sector.
EPP, we want you to introduce more subsidy schemes so farmers can invest in artificially intelligent tools like precision technology to reduce manual labour and improve productivity. In Ireland, we have the GLAS scheme, which means green in Irish, or Glas Oscuelga. This scheme empowers Irish farmers to meet environmental standards for a monetary bonus. A similar incentive here would inspire young, up-and-coming EU farmers to ditch synthetic nitrous oxide fertilisers for life-enhancing biodynamic practices, reducing nutrient runoff, reducing soil disturbance, and then thus reducing the threat of eutrophication in our European waterways. EPP help new, young, prospective farmers evaporate problems so that nature, populations and Europe can thrive.
What do you think when you think about farming? It's not really appealing, is it? Because that's the reality. But we need to change that. And I want you to imagine, you want to be a politician, I think, probably all of you. But now imagine that if you want to be a politician, your parents should both be politicians. You should invest 1 million to get a chair right here. You get to live 100 kilometers from the nearest city. And there's no hospital in the neighborhood. That would be ridiculous, right? Why would you want to be a politician then? Well, that is the reality for the farmers. And that is why it is not appealing to become a young farmer. But we need to make it appealing. Because if it's not appealing and we don't have any young farmers, then eventually we will have a very big danger to our food supply. So it is really important that we change that. And that's what our campaign is about. So we should invest in subsidies. We should invest in education. And we should invest in facilities in the rural ground. Because then we will have young farmers.
Your
then
5 minutes is up.
And then we will have the future. Thank you.
Okay. Clear support in the room. Perhaps we can take a quick comment from both of you. Lydia first, and then Maria, you are. This is right up your alley.
Well, it's great to have this, inspiring approach towards farming. I agree with what you guys say. It's sometimes a bit of a neglected activity in our economies, and so important, because if it was not because of the farmers, we would not have food in our tables. So my only comment is that I think what was missing in your last statement was innovation. All the rest, I think, was great. I think it's very good to have this refreshed approach towards farming, agriculture. Farmers for Future, it's a great slogan, but innovation and technology will be key in the food sector and in particular in agriculture. So, congratulations.
Thank you very, very much. And on a personal note, just delighted to see a Highland cow in your social media campaign. As an owner of Highland cows, I just felt spoken to there. Just really want to add to Lydia's point. I mean, each of you really compelled a fantastic story, and looking beyond the lens to try and get out to teach people. And to the previous presentation, it's just, and the one before, the misinformation, the disinformation, and the engagement is most important. You know, farming is, like politics, so personal, and to break down the food we have on the table comes from somewhere, not just the grocery store. And I have to really compel. I think it's great. To Lydia's point, the innovation piece is really important, and ultimately, how do we sell, dare I say, the policies that we have here to protect farmers, and ultimately hear farmers' voices through that. But thank you very, very much.
Okay, thanks, Maria. Let's take some questions from the audience. We've had one from you, so maybe let's try someone else. Is there anyone else? No one has any comments about farming in your... yeah, sure. 686.
Hello, I'm Robert Lally. I'm a young farmer from the west of Ireland, and I want to congratulate you on your amazing, amazing speech. Us as young farmers across Europe have severe challenges ahead, but we also have great opportunities. As a young farmer in the west of Ireland, I just want to leave you with this. Once in your life, you may need a doctor. Once in your life, you may need a dentist. Once in your life, you may need a lawyer. But 3 times a day, every day, you need a farmer.
Not so much of a question. There is, I think it's 500 on the dot up there.
Good afternoon. My name is Lina. I'm from Amsterdam. And it's very clear that we need farmers and that they are essential in Europe. But I was wondering, why do you think this specific campaign is necessary? Thank you.
That's a good question. Thank you so much. And I think the answer is in what the young farmer just told us. We need a farmer 3 times a day. And without the farmers, only 11%, Sean told us, is below the 40 years old. Without farmers, we won't get that food. So you can't become a politician because you will need to have food. So we need to get people to value farmers. We need people to become farmers because we need no danger to our food supply.
I'm looking at the one behind. 198. I've got the numbers have all blurred in front of my eyes. Please.
Thank you for your presentation. I think it's really, really important because, as we've heard before, we need a farmer 3 times a day. I come from a rural area in Germany, and I work on a dairy farm, and I study agriculture, so this is a very personal topic for me. And my question is, in my impression, the farmers are really challenged at the moment, and how can we get the farmers back on our side? Because there are a lot of decisions made in the EU Parliament that directly affect the farmers and sometimes leave them angry. And how can we motivate them to maybe get into politics or do something so that we can get them back, win them back?
Oh, completely. A huge thing in the last while has been this huge jeopardization of farmers, and they bring the food that we need to eat. And especially in the climate sphere, we've only 10% of emissions coming from farmland and farmers, and there's a huge amount of other avenues where we can focus on instead of demonizing a group of people that all they do every single day of the week is support the people that are complaining about them. And Ursula von der Leyen was speaking during the week and she said we need to intensify efforts for reducing emissions, but I don't think it's by really honing in on the farmers. We need to look at everything else first and then get the farmers back on our sides, because we need them on our sides or else we'll be completely lost. So, yeah.
Okay. That's it. Now we head to our vote. Have they compelled you? Will this social media campaign stop you from scrolling? The vote's open. Let's have a look. So, green if you're in favour, you can abstain if you wish, and red if you think that this wouldn't stop you from scrolling. We're going to move through. This is our penultimate group now, so the result will start coming. Remember, there will be, after this, there will be then the 3 top groups will have a 1-minute possibility to persuade you to make them the actual final winner. So, get your vote in. We're going to close it any second now. Let's close the vote. The vote is closed. Let's see your result. So 201 in favour. Very well done. 79 against and 31 abstentions. Congratulations. I think we're going to see you shortly. I think that pretty much seals you in the final.